Hi everybody. I am headed to Indianapolis, so I thought I would take you guys for a ride on historic National Road. Now right now, I am in the town of Centerville, and I'm going to flip this around. This was the Wayne County Jail, and let's see if I can zoom in here. You can see the holes up there by the door. There's one, and there's some other little scrapes. That was from when the city of Centerville, which is where I am now, was the county seat. And they moved the county seat to the city of Richmond. But the city of Centerville got really annoyed at that, so they decided to take all the county records and put them in the jail because that was the sturdiest structure in town. And so, excuse me, the city of Richmond brought down a cannon. It's in the 1800s, mid 1800s, and everybody has the cannon out by the courthouse. Well, Richmond, Indiana brought their cannon by their courthouse down the road that we're going to take. Well, we're on the same road. We're not going to go that direction, though. To the city of Centerville, and blasted holes in their jail until the city gave up the county records. And the people from Richmond brought them over to the Richmond courthouse, and Richmond, Indiana is still the county seat of Wayne County. So I figured this would be a fun place to start. I have some other historical tidbits that I'll offer up as we go through the different cities. But for now, oh, that was really close. Sorry. For now, I'm going to put you guys on your little holder here. Hold on a sec. Okay. And we are going to head off down the National Road. Oh, jeez. I am kind of a mess today, sorry. Okay. Enough with the windshield wipers. And if you pardon me for just a sec, I am going to put a straw in my drink, which is a sweet tea, not like alcohol or stuff like that. And I'm going to open some chips because I'm hungry and it's about a 2-hour drive and I don't want to wait for 2 hours before I eat anything. So, alrighty, we're going to be on our way. Like I said, this is the town of Centerville. If you like antiques, this is your place. They have tons of antiques. They have a huge antique mall. Well, a mall with antique stores in it. Absolutely huge place. You can find just about anything you would want and a million things you never knew you wanted in those antique stores. And it started because this was one of the roads west during the pioneer days. So wagon trains and such would roll along this road. Hold on a sec, let me. Okay. Wagon trains and such would roll along this road, and this was kind of the outskirts of civilization at the time. The Treaty of Greenville actually took this land, or this land was given or taken by, however you want to look at it, to the United States from the Native American tribes that lived here, from by the Treaty of Greenville, and that happened not far from where we are now. So this was really the edge of America at that time. So as people migrated out past this point, they kind of tried to lighten their load a little bit. So each time people would leave, a few items, a dresser or a bed or a chest or stuff, so that way the rest of the trip was more comfortable for them. And that excuse me, kind of really grew the antiques business in this area, and I guess it just sort of continued. It just sort of hung in there. Excuse me. This is kind of this road has some areas of sort of non-incorporated cities or areas in between the towns. So you're going to see kind of a lot of open space, but that's one of the things I love about it is there's just space here. And those of you who know me know I come from California, where there is space, but in the sort of like little enclaves of space versus enclaves of people like there are here. So anyway, I'm one of the folks who really kind of like the empty fields and the farm equipment and people with goats in their front yard and things like that. I like that kind of stuff. That house that we just passed has a whole bunch of chickens, and usually the chickens are just kind of wandering around the house, or the outside of the house. So, got to keep an eye out for random chickens in the road. Even though I enjoyed fried chicken, I don't want to kill an animal. So, yeah, the view out in front of us, I think, is just beautiful. No real clouds, unfortunately. Well, there's a few high, thin clouds, but it doesn't look like we're in for any storms tonight. But spring is still early, so there's a chance that we will have a stormy spring. And if we do, I will take you along storm chasing for those of you who are interested in that. I do chase storms, chase more thunderstorms. I don't really chase tornadoes because I don't have the equipment to do it safely. And I enjoy chasing, but I also enjoy living. So I'm not too much of a daredevil in terms of thinking I can outsmart weather. I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to outsmart weather. If that makes any sense. Excuse me. So we're going to be coming up on a few little cute towns in just a moment. When I first moved here, I was always curious about what the addresses were of the towns out here, or the houses out here, excuse me, because they don't seem to be a part of any city. So I was always kind of wondering, white car, that was not smart. I always kind of wondered what in the world their address would be. But they do obviously have city addresses. Some folks in this area don't have city addresses, they just have a P.O. box, because they actually go to the post office and pick up their mail, as opposed to having a postal delivery person come and deliver it to their house. So they just have a P.O. box with a number, and obviously the post office is located in a city, so their address may be Post Office 12, whatever city, Indiana, and then they go to the post office to pick up their mail. We're coming into the little town of Pershing, or East Germantown. This town has an interesting history. Another sign for an antique place. This city was founded in the mid-1800s, as most of the cities were along this road. But given the fact that the city was founded in that time period, when we entered, several decades later, when we entered the Second World War, the town of East Germantown obviously did not want to have any associations with Germany, so they changed their name to Pershing, who was a prominent general at the time. I forget his first name, but General Pershing was kind of a prominent guy. So they changed their name to that to show allegiance to, the American troops and the Allies. And so they didn't have the name German in their town. I'm not sure. I might have lost you guys. I'm going to head up here and just a little bit into the town of Cambridge City, where I can pull over and check, because I think I lost you. But we will see in just a few minutes. As soon as I get a chance to pull over, there's not really a safe spot to do so here. So there are going to be places where my connection falls out, because it's rural. So I hope that isn't what's happening. I hope I still have you guys and I just lost the screen. But we will check in just a minute. We're now coming into the town of Cambridge City. And this town was founded in 1836. It, again, was a young town when this road was built. Excuse me. Oh my God. Okay. Hold on. Where did they go? Okay, folks. Sorry, I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but two dogs just ran out in front of me. One of them had a leash. The other one looked like it was kind of just tagging along. So I did a little bit of a drive around to see if I could find them. I wanted to help them get back to their family, because I know that if it was my dog, I would want somebody to help me get my dog back home. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is a mural. Okay. There was a mural of Abraham Lincoln and his funeral train. The funeral train did go straight through this city. It stopped momentarily because the mayor, this is Cambridge City, because I don't know if he was mayor at the time, but one of Lincoln's good friends lived here, and they stopped by and literally picked him up for the rest of the train ride to Illinois. So we're following along the same railroad tracks. In fact, they cut right in front of us here, or a spur of them does. And so there's pictures of Cambridge City all decked out in their black mourning drapes and bunting, and people came out and lined the railroad tracks to see his train pass by. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. Actually no, I think about 3:30. Also, to the left here, you'll see the Huddleston House, and that was the home of Sarah and John Huddleston. They were Quakers who settled in this area, and they had 12 children. And like I said, the town of Cambridge City, which we just passed, was founded in 1863, and 1836. Sorry. And the Huddlestons moved in and built their house in 1838. So they were some of the early folks. National Road came through this county in 1827. So, like I said, all this was kind of built up around the National Road. And the town of Dublin, which is what we're coming into now, was founded in 1832. So this is all early to mid 30s. Dublin has a few stories about how it got its name. Some of them revolve around the Huddleston home, which we just came past. And John Huddleston did have, he opened his home to travelers, and so it was an inn, and it had a front door and a back door, which was not super common back then. And so they called it the Double Inn, where you could enter in from either one of the doors. There's also a story that the name Dublin came from, excuse me, people would have to go doubling up their horses to get up the hills that we just went up. When they put in and paved National Road, they cut the hills down to flatten them out a little bit, but they're still, fairly significant hills, especially if you're pulling a wagon full of stuff, with horses. And then the third story that I know of is that it actually is named after the town of Dublin, Ireland, because the first civic leader and postmaster was from Dublin. I'm sorry, not Dublin, Ireland, Dublin, Maryland. And he named it in honor of his hometown. So I'll be honest, I don't know which of those three, or if there's other explanations that are the actual truth. I don't know the actual name of, the actual history of the name. Things lost. But Dublin's a cute little town. I love their gas lamp type street lights. They're beautiful when in a light snowfall in the evening. It looks like a Norman Rockwell car. It's amazing. I love going through that part of the state. But I like doing this during all different seasons because the scenery always changes. As you can see, the fields to the left are ready to be planted for the spring. So those will obviously change as the seasons go by. Now there's some fields coming up on the left as well. And you can feel the history on this road, the energy of it. Excuse me. It is amazing to me. I love this. We're going to be coming up soon to the little town of Strawn. And I don't have a whole lot of information about Strawn. It's kind of there's not a whole lot of history online about it. And it's tiny. I'm sure somebody has the history of it. And actually, my friend Al Hunter might be able to fill me in. He is a great historian, and actually has written a couple books on the National Road through Indiana. He wrote one from Indianapolis to the east, obviously called East National Road, and one from Indianapolis to the west, called West National Road. So he split them up, which makes sense because Indianapolis is pretty much the center of the state. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Strawn. It's a little town. Not a whole lot of it is left. I'm not sure if it was a farming town or some of these towns spring up around natural gas deposits and other things like that. So there might have been like a mineral or something that caused a boom and kind of brought folks to the area, or it might just be good farmland. As I mentioned, there's fields all around here, so it's farmed quite a bit now, and I'm sure that it was farmed even more so back, in the earlier times. I'm assuming Strawn was a family name, but this is it. This is the town of Strawn. There's a few blocks east and west of this, north and south, but not a whole lot to Little Strawn here. But you can tell that there used to be quite a bit. There's some buildings that are kind of in disrepair. There's a post office. There's a church with a beautiful bell up at the steeple. So you can tell at one point this was much more populated than it is now. I'll have to find out a little bit more about it. So next time I do this, I can maybe give you guys some more information. Alrighty, well that was strong. And now the next city, I was going to say big city, but kind of not really big, but the next city we're going to come into, excuse me, is Louisville. And as you can guess, it was named after the family name Lewis. Sorry about that. It was founded in 1829. And the big thing there is one of the big things there is the Geyer Opera House, which was built in 1902, and it was a like a memorial hall for a while where people, would do town meetings and things of that nature. And then it was turned into an opera house and kind of a theater. And one of its claims to fame was they actually had like the Buffalo Bill Cody type of Western show that alrighty folks, sorry, we got cut off. So this is well, not cut off, but it was too hot. So we're back now. So for those of you on the replay, probably won't know that there's a difference, but oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. So, alrighty, I'm not really sure where we left off. We are in the town of Knightstown right now. My phone got too hot, so I'm going to see if we can do a little bit of the windows down. I don't know how loud that is. If it's too loud, then I'll roll them back up. Just FYI, I can't really see chat because my phone is on my dashboard and it's far away from me. Sorry, sneaking a chip. Anyway, so we went through the town of Dunreath, and Dunreath was founded in 1895, and their claim to fame is that it was the birthplace of John Cryer, the actor. It's the birthplace of his mother, who is an actress, and her name is Gretchen Cryer. So that's kind of their claim to fame. She was born and raised there. We are now in the town of Knightstown, named after its founder, Jonathan Knight. Pardon me. This town was founded in 1827, and the houses that you're looking at in front of me, or in front of the camera, are from that time period. We're going to take a quick little side trip. For any of you Gene Hackman fans, this is where the movie Hoosiers, the basketball movie, was filmed. So I'm going to take us by the Hoosier Gym, which was the gym to the high school at the time. But they have since built a new high school, so it's not the high school gym anymore. But they actually did something really, really cool. They went ahead and refurbished the high school into apartments. I believe they're assisted living apartments for seniors. I'm not positive about that, but I believe that it is. But so anyway, they kept the beautiful structure and they kept the gym. And we're gonna go take a look at it right now. Cute little kind of side street here. Everybody's enjoying the nice weather, and when I say nice weather here, it's 53. So, but that is nice compared to what it has been. I will take the mid-50s, thank you. So this is an older section of town. Well, yeah, it's kind of mixed. Obviously there's some new built houses, but there's some beautiful Victorians too. Now the school, they did not really use this for the outside of the school very much. They did for like the doorway entrance. But this is the gym over to the right. We've got somebody behind me now, so I can't really. Oh, we'll pull in. What the heck? I don't know if I'm gonna pause here for just a minute. Take you guys out of the holder here. Be a tourist for just a minute. Actually, I'm just gonna tilt you up if I can. Nope, can't do that. Okay. All right. If you can see the top, one is a telescope and one is a globe. So it's science and geography. And this was the gym that they filmed all of the scenes for the movie in. They filmed a lot of it in and around this area. But so anyway, that's the Hoosiers gym. See the beautiful old stairwell in there. Oh, I love this building. I want to go in there so badly. Okay, and there's a cornerstone that says 1931. So apparently that's when this was built. Like I mentioned before, they do have a new high school, and we will be passing that on our way out of town. But Knightstown is an interesting little place. Excuse me. A lot of Gothic architecture and Gothic touches to the homes around here. A lot of the arched, almost church-like windows and spires and things like that. So this is kind of a little parkway that they've made over here on the left for folks to enjoy. Like I said, it looks like there's some folks enjoying it, which is awesome. Oh, horses! Aww, they're cute. Okay, I gotta keep driving. So we're going to be heading out of Knightstown now. Alrighty. So as you can see, Knightstown has some beautiful buildings. One of my favorite is here right beside the gas station. And then the one next to that is also a beautiful one. It's actually a funeral home, but beautiful nonetheless. Oh man, the horses are turning right and we're going straight. Oh well. Darn. So, a little bit of information about this area. This is Hancock County, and, or will be Hancock County just in a moment. And it was named after John Hancock, the signer of the Declaration of Independence. It was named in honor of him. And it was founded in the early 1820s. So the next kind of big city we're going to be driving through is Greenfield, but we have a little bit of time before we get there. Let's see. We're going to be coming up on the new high school on the left. I don't know if you can really see it, but okay, that's getting too loud. We're just going to have to hope the phone does not overheat. Alrighty. Greenfield is another interesting historic place. A lot of interesting history there. One of the main prides of Greenfield is the poet, author James Whitcomb Riley, who was born and raised there. His house is now a museum. And of course, he wrote the stories that became Little Orphan Annie, or Annie, actually. The stories were called Little Orphan Annie. Whew, I don't know, sorry, the sun poked out, which is nice, but it's really bright on the screen for you. Sorry. We'll be back into a cloud in just a minute. Sorry, hold on to your eyeballs. Or maybe it's not super bright, maybe it's just the reflection that I'm seeing. I hope that it's not super bright, it's just the reflection that I'm seeing. Actually, I think that is it. I think it's just the reflection. Good. But anyway, Little Orphan Annie was the poems and short stories, one of the poems and short stories that James Whitcomb Riley is known for. He actually did several, but that was the one that kind of took off, if you will. And that was actually based on a true story, or a true girl. In that time period, wealthier families, John Whitcomb Riley's father was a lawyer, and in that time period, wealthier families would take in orphaned girls to help with housework and raising children and things of that nature. And so in the Riley household, they took in a little orphan, or I shouldn't say little, a young orphan girl, and her name was Allison. They called her Allie, and Allie would do the housework and help raise the kids and do all that. She was a little bit older than both of the boys, both John and his brother Robert. And so Allie would tell them stories, and some of the stories were kind of scary ones to make them behave, and some of them were kind of fun ones. And so as John Whitcomb Riley grew up, he started writing more and more, and he wrote down these stories that Allie would tell the kids, him and his brother. His brother and him. At that time, of course, they didn't have typewriters, so everything was handwritten. And then it was sent to the printer, and the printer would set the print blocks with the appropriate metal letters, and then ink the letters and put the paper over it, all that sort of stuff. So the printer had to read the handwriting of the authors and translate it into the letters to put on the printing blocks. So apparently James Whitcomb Riley's handwriting was not the best, and either that or the printer's eyesight was not the best, whatever way. The story is about Orphan Alley. The printer saw his L's as N's, so he changed it, or he printed Annie. So instead of A-L-L-I-E, it was printed as A-N-N-I-E. So Little Orphan Annie was created, like I said, based on Allie's stories, and that legend was born. Excuse me. Now Allie is buried with the family, or by the family, I think. And that's, should try to take a pit stop and see that. Go over to their burial. Well, I take that back. John Whitcomb Riley is buried in Crown Hill Cemetery in Indianapolis. I believe his family members and Allie. I know Allie is, and I know she's buried with some of the Whitcomb Riley family members. I don't know which family members, but they are buried in a cemetery that we're going to pass by, just outside of the town of Greenfield. I've never been in that cemetery. I should do that sometime, but not tonight because I'm heading to Indianapolis for a reason, so we don't have a whole lot of time to do side trips. But at some point, I'll put that on my to-do list, because I would like to go and I would love to bring you guys. So anyway, that's pretty much the story of Greenfield. There's several sports stars from Greenfield. There's some early day baseball pitchers. I'm sorry, I don't know names. One of them was an early pitcher for the Yankees. That's about all I can tell you. I think his last name was Smith, although that doesn't give you anything. I understand. But also the home of J.C. Phelps, who was one of the amazing women's gymnasts, American women's gymnasts in the, I want to say 1992 Olympiad. They won the team gold, and I believe she won medals for floor exercise. I'm not sure, but I think she won a medal or two on her own individually, and also she was a part of the gold medal winning American U.S. team. And she was born and raised out here and went to a gym out here in Greenfield before she moved on to gyms with kind of higher league coaches. So she's kind of Greenfield's native daughter, if you will. And they even have a road named after her. Can't really see it because it's on the side of the road and we're going, 50 miles an hour, literally. And I don't really want to stop to see it because this is a 4-lane highway. But they do have a road named after her. And Greenfield is a great little town. I'll show you their courthouse. We drive right by it. I love their courthouse. Although I like a lot of these courthouses. They're just beautiful stone and really kind of what I imagine a courthouse would be. My hometown courthouse, when I was growing up, in City Hall, not very pretty. It was kind of boxy and very kind of modernist 1960s-ish. I don't know when it was built, but it looked 50s or 60s type of architecture. It was the mid-century, which I know that a lot of people love, and that's great, but I prefer the kind of older and more majestic type of buildings, and that's what these courthouses are. They're granite and limestone and other materials such as that. And a fun fact, every courthouse in Indiana has to be built with Indiana limestone. It doesn't necessarily have to be all Indiana limestone, but it has to have some Indiana limestone in it. And when I found that out, I thought that was kind of cool. So, move over because this guy does not want to slow down to the speed limit here. So, I'll let them pass. So we're coming into the lovely little town of Greenfield. And Greenfield was founded, or was incorporated, in 1876. So it was a little bit later than the other towns. I mean, there were people living here way before that, but it wasn't like an actually incorporated city. It was just kind of a bunch of neighbors and farmers living together without a unified like post office and jail and courthouse and things like that. As we go by here, they do have the old log courthouse jail in their city park, which I love. Although I'm not going to be able to go find it today, or I need to find it. It's over to the right. Can't really spend time there, but I will try to. Excuse me. I will try to come back and kind of do a little bit more of a show and tell to these areas. Maybe I'll do that on my way home tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that. Ooh, minivan, that was kind of a risky. Alrighty. So this is the town of Greenfield. As you can see, it's quite a bit larger than the little tiny towns we've been passing through. Over here on the left, that big tall bell tower, that's the courthouse. And this is a person. Okay. Walking in front of traffic. But I guess everybody saw her. Okay, so this is the courthouse on our left. Beautiful, beautiful courthouse. It's limestone with red tile roof, barrel tile, and I love it. And to the right here, this used to be a church, used to be a Masonic church, and now they rent it out for weddings and things of that nature. I'm gonna sneak in a couple chips while we're waiting at the light. Now I will pull over in front of the James Whitcomb Riley house. Sorry, I think I called him John earlier. It's James. And take you guys off the holder for a little bit so you can kind of see just the outside, but you can see what his house looks like. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I do a lot of what I call travels with Tracy, which is exactly what we're doing right now. Just kind of little road trips with historical backgrounds. And I do some streams with my dog. I do some Disneyland stuff, or Disney World stuff, Disney in general stuff. But I really love history. It's kind of my passion. And I love taking you guys along with me. So please subscribe if you haven't, and hit that thumbs up button. That's really helpful. And like I said, thank you again for watching. Okay. So this yellow house, let's see. Park it here for a minute. I'm gonna take you guys off the holder. This yellow house is the Whitcomb Riley Museum, as you can tell with the sign. And this white house is actually the house that he grew up in. And there's a little statue of him sitting on a bench looking out over the street. And hold on. Hey Matt, how are you? Thank you for watching. We are over at the James Whitcomb Riley house, and just showing you guys a little bit of what Greenfield has to offer. Put it down just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that is the James Whitcomb Riley house. Got a little bit of traffic coming here. Crooked. You got a driving student in front of us, so we'll give him or her a little bit more space. Bring you guys back out a little bit. Sorry, I was zoomed in. I think we're still zoomed in a little bit. From what I can tell, it looks like I'm right up on their bumper, and I'm not. There we go. Okay. Just didn't want people to think I was like tailgating this poor person. Because that would not be cool. Not at all. Wonder what the F means. Never seen one with an F. Okay, so we are now pulling out of Greenfield. Okay. The person in front of our driving student is turning. I'm just going to scoot around and let them have their space without feeling like somebody is trying to push them to go faster, because that's not cool. person went off the side of the road. Well, I am really glad that we took the time to do a little side trip to the Hoosier Gym and all of the other little jaunts we took, because I do not want to be a part of that situation. I hope that that person's all right. And it was kind of good news, because the ambulance is just sort of sitting there. It didn't look like they had anybody in it, or they were anxious on taking off and getting somebody to medical services as soon as possible or anything. So I hope that whoever that was or is all right. There's a new restaurant going in over there. Yay. I love finding places to eat along this route, because I go this way fairly often, and I usually do it after work like this, or after meetings or such in Indianapolis like I'm going to do tomorrow. So oftentimes I do so around dinner time, hence me eating the chips. Sorry for kind of crunching in your face here, or in your ear. But yeah, I love finding new restaurants. Or I shouldn't say I love finding new restaurants. I'm always interested in finding new restaurants. Alrighty, we're going to be coming up to the town of Philadelphia, Indiana. Yes, you heard me correctly, folks. There's a Philadelphia, Indiana. We don't have the good cheesesteaks, though, as far as I know. Not that I've found, speaking of restaurants. We missed out on that good part of Philly. Sorry about the sunlight. As you can tell, we're heading directly west. Alright, this is Philadelphia. Not a whole lot to it, but the one thing it does have is it has that cemetery that Allie, or the young lady who was renamed by the printer to Little Orphan Annie, where she is buried with some of James Whitcomb Riley's family members. That cemetery is right around here. Wow, and I have a big black truck just about ready to go up and over me. Sheesh, people. The speed limit dropped, going pretty down. Sorry, I have a habit of talking to drivers. Well, to cars, because drivers don't listen. I know cars don't listen either, but I figure at least I understand why cars don't listen. There you go, big black truck. Go on by and get to your spot. And just to the left of us is that cemetery. The big black truck probably blocked it. But I hope that you guys can see some of it. But that's the cemetery where Little Orphan Allie, or Little Orphan Annie, is buried. Oh, it's getting windy. Coming up in a little bit, it's going to be the town of Cumberland. site of many taverns and inns. And I'm not sure, I might have said this after I lost you guys back before Knightstown, but in its heyday, there was an inn every 5 miles. Because 5 miles was a pretty long ride on a wagon and a horse. And so it was kind of like, I don't know, like Pioneer Holiday Inns or Pioneer Motor Hotels or something like that. You could ride from one to the next and then put up your horse and get some dinner and have a rest. But so speaking of inns, if you guys don't know, a little fun fact, the difference between an inn, a tavern, and a bar is that a bar serves only drinks, a tavern served drinks and food, and an inn could serve drinks and or food, but it had at least 2 beds. So that's the difference between an inn, a tavern, and a bar. If some useless knowledge ever needs to come up, you can throw that one out there. So yeah, we're coming up on Cumberland in just a little bit. Well, we do have some interesting looking clouds over there. Now, if this was 2 months later, in May or June, I'd say we'd have some good storms tonight, but it's still too cold. It snowed here on Saturday. Today is Tuesday, so we're still trying to break out of winter. But as I mentioned, today is about 55, 53, 55. So I'm happy with that. I will take that right now. It's got about a month before I need it to be warmer. But I will take low to mid 50s right now. Just fine. Low to mid 50s means ice melts, snow melts, and I'm warmer than I am when it's 20. Alrighty, so we're heading into Cumberland here. It's not kicking people out, but hello all you replayers and your live watchers, thank you. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I do these trips fairly often, especially now that the weather is better, and I love bringing you guys along for these nice little car trips, and I'll always be sure to get some historical knowledge and mixed in with the beautiful scenery here. Pardon me. I also do streams with my dog and Disney-based streams as well. So please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Ooh, somebody had a fire. Do all those kind of cool things, so that way you'll know when I'm back on the road, or I'm doing interesting and fun things with my dog. Alrighty, so this is the town of Cumberland. Now, Cumberland was named for Cumberland, Maryland, because that, oh, hey look, llamas. Sorry. I almost did not see him in the sun. Cumberland was named after the town of Cumberland, Maryland, because that's where the national road, the road that we're on, begins or ends, depending on which way you're taking it. So, they named it in honor of Cumberland, Maryland, because at that time when it was first beginning, this was called Cumberland Road, because, like I said, it began or ended, however you want to put it, in the town of Cumberland, Maryland. So people would take the Cumberland Road, and then when it spread as far as it did, people started calling it National Road, because they thought at the time it was going to span the nation. But as I mentioned earlier, the popularity of the railroad took wagon trails and the cars that were available. This road was really bumpy, and it was mud and really rutted with tire tracks and everything. So the train was just a faster, easier way to get places. So the funding for this road kind of was revoked. Wow, that is a big flag to our left. So anyway, yeah, this is the town of Cumberland. We're now officially in the Indianapolis metro area. And the very, very eastern side of it. We might have to contend with a bus for a little bit. But soon there's another lane that comes up, and this is the lane that I want to be in, so I'm just going to kind of hang back over here until I can get over. That is one of the cemeteries to our right. That is not Crown Hill, where James Whitcomb Riley is buried. There are several cemeteries in the area. Let's see, is the bus gonna move first, or the person behind me gonna go past me first? Okay. So that's kind of funny, because they almost happened at just about the same time. And here's where that third lane shows up. Right after the bus stop. But that's okay. I'm glad people are making use of the bus system. That's good. Because if you don't lose it, they take things away. And the bus system is really important. Necessarily mind being behind buses, but my only thing about being behind buses is I like being able to see what's in front of the vehicle in front of me, so I know if somebody's doing something goofball ahead that I need to prepare to brake for, or prepare to maneuver around. And when you're behind a bus or a big truck, you don't have that sight line. We are almost to our turn off of National Road. but not yet. Thank you again for joining me on this ride. I appreciate it. It's always good to have folks along. I hope maybe you've learned something. If you have questions or want me to look into the history of something different, please let me know. I love doing research and things of that nature, so if there's something that you would like me to look into, or something that you found or that you find that is different from what I've said, please let me know, because I get this information from others, and if there's something that says that information is not correct, I want to make sure I know the correct information. So please. And also, if there's anything that you want me to find out about in eastern Indiana, I'm mainly in east central Indiana, but I can go north and south. In fact, I'm planning on going up to Fort Wayne in a month or two. And that'll be on another state highway, State Highway 27. That does kind of the north and south deal. Not as far as National Road goes, but a lot of really good history there. A lot of great Amish influences and Amish towns. So in other words, really good cooking. Amish pies are the best. Just saying. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing that at some point, so make sure you click that make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell, so that way you don't miss that run. And I'll probably go down to Cincinnati at some point too. I know what you're thinking, Cincinnati's in Ohio, which is true, but Ohio kind of bumps over, so it's pretty much straight south of eastern Indiana. Or, I might just head down to the Ohio River someday and drive along the edge of that, which is always beautiful, especially in the spring and fall. Although it's nice in the winter and the summer too. I will tell you right now, I'm not going to do it in the winter. I don't do a whole lot of traveling in the winter, if I can help it, because I am a California girl born and raised, and I do and will drive in snow and ice, but not on purpose, or not when I can avoid it, I guess I should say. So winter trips are few and far between for me. And you know what? I am okay with that. We're getting closer to the actual city of Indianapolis. The freeway overpass in front of us is for Freeway 465, which is the loop that goes around the city of Indianapolis. Pardon me, that was a louder crunch than I anticipated. course, you have all the city stoplights. I've gotten spoiled living in smaller towns that don't have stoplights every 20 feet. But I understand why they do here, because you have to control a larger amount of traffic. Really, bicycle? This road isn't big enough for the two of us. Especially when you go across it in front of me. Coming up to our turn off of National Road, just before the sweet little town of Irvington, Indiana. And I've already done several vlogs on Irvington, so if you're interested in it, please look at those. Irvington has a lot of incredible history, named after Washington Irving. Because it was stated that at the time that it was named, that it looked very similar to Irving's hometown of Tarrytown, New York, which was also the model for Sleepy Hollow in Irvington's book. No, but a lot of murder and intrigue, and all kinds of really, really major stories happened in Irvington. So please go ahead and look up that vlog. Once again, I'll find a place to pull over here and say goodbye. Fabulous. Thank you, bus. Yay. That was very kind of you. I don't know if you can see it all the way up ahead. There's a yellow light up there. It's going to turn red. It's red now in the very back distance. That is the northern side of 465. Like I said, it makes a loop around Indianapolis. So we passed by the eastern, and that's the northern up there. So it's not really big. It's more east and west. Well, no, it's fairly big. Find a place to pull over. Yeah, we'll go up here a little bit longer. Starbucks. I did not know that. at Starbucks. Alrighty. Well, yeah, into the sunlight. Oh. Okay. Alrighty.